All right. So we just finished looking at different paraphrases that attempt to capture the author's meaning. Okay, so all these notes should be filled out by now. Now we're ready just to pause for a second and digest all the reading strategies we've used so far. Okay, so we've reread the text. We're still listening to an expert reader. We used our vocabulary resources, which are all those definitions provided to us over here. Um, we inserted simple synonyms, reread them multiple times, identified pronouns, they and them. We know exactly who that's referring to. And we made connections to the historical context, right? So when it says them to the separation because of the history that we know who are the two sides that are separating. Okay, so now the last one we haven't done is this last strategy. So let's go ahead and move forward. Let's take a look at that. It's still going to seem like things might be a little bit random, but hopefully this analogy brings all the pieces together. An analogy is a comparison. It's when you look at two different things, but the relationship of those things help you understand whatever you're comparing. So, for the purposes of this activity, let's compare the Declaration of Independence to a letter. And let's say the letter is from a girl named Benish, and Benish is writing to her parents. So, we have Thomas Jefferson writing here, and Jefferson is writing to England and the world. And here we have Benish writing to her parents. So this is how the Declaration is organized, and this is how Benish's letters are organized. We've only talked about the preamble, so let's focus there. Remember, preamble means introduction. So in Benish's letter, she kind of explains in her intro why she's writing. So let's see if focusing on that comparison helps us understand the preamble better. Okay, so let's read Benish's letter. We've read the DOI multiple times, the preamble. So let's look at Benish's letter. There comes a time when a person needs to choose their own path. I've decided that it would be best to leave home. Seeing that you have raised me to have manners, I will explain why we have come to the point that my departure is best for everyone. To follow, you will read about my frustrations, which have continued for so long that I have no choice but to begin my divergence. So, this is Benish's paragraph one in her letter to her parents. And here we have the preamble. Okay. So, first of all, just like in the preamble, we went through some steps. Who is Jefferson writing to? So let's ask about Benish's letter. Who is she writing to? We've established she's writing to her parents. What's going on with Benish? Are you starting to get a gist of what's going on with her? Yes, she's leaving home. That's pretty apparent. She also shows that she has some frustrations. She uses that word frustration. Okay. And so that's kind of the gist that you get after the first read. Now, is there a specific sentence that captures exactly why is she writing? And yes, there is. It's going to be her sentence number 3. So she has an introductory sentence and she kind of says she thinks it's best to leave home. But sentence 3 really captures more detail. She's saying she's going to explain why her leaving, her departure is best for everyone. Okay? So let's take that point and let's make a connection to the preamble because that's the whole point of this, right? So, of the chunks we studied, chunk 1, chunk 2, and chunk 3, which one of these most clearly explain why Jefferson is writing the DOI? So, if you had to compare these chunks, which one matches best with Benish's highlighted yellow, right? So, which chunk? Okay. And yeah, you probably would have identified it's going to be the orange chunk where it says they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Okay. So hopefully this analogy helped you understand the DOI a little better. We're going to pause here, have you fill out your last reading strategy we used,